She was rushed to hospital with pain. They did a scan and they found a fibroid that was, let me go to inches, it was probably about 3 inches in diameter. So she decided to go.
Hello everyone, I'm Barbara O'Neill, and today we're exploring a remarkable natural remedy that has stood the test of time, castor oil. While many of you may know about its benefits for skin and hair, did you know that applying or spraying castor oil on the navel can significantly impact your health? This traditional practice, often used by early medical practitioners, offers quick and effective relief for a variety of health concerns. From enhancing digestion and easing menstrual discomfort to strengthening immunity, castor oil truly is a powerhouse of healing properties. As a thank you for joining me today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to our subscribers. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, like this video, and comment why you want to win. Now let's get started.
Castor oil penetrates deeper than any other oil. I do not advise you drink castor oil. It can be irritating inside, but on the outside, it has quite a remarkable effect. It penetrates deeper than any other oil, and wherever it penetrates, it breaks up lumps, bumps, adhesions, bone spurs, tumours. Depending on how long the bone spur's been there, if the bone spur's been there for 3 years, it may take 3 months. If the bone spur's been there 3 months, it might only take 3 weeks. I have seen people, well, they've told me their bone spur was little by little, it was able to go with the castor oil compresses. So when I say a compress, what do I mean by that? I'll show you how we make it. We get what's called an incontinence pad. You can buy these to put under people who are incontinent, and we cut them up. So you can see that I've already cut a piece off this. And the beauty of it is it's got a plastic backing, and I open it up. You can open it like that, and I put several layers of cloth in there to make it a thick compress. You see, the thicker the compress, the more castor oil it will hold, and the more castor oil can go into you. So I have made one here. So you can see this is quite thick. I think I have got about 8 layers of cloth in there. And what I do is I tape the edges with masking tape, and I've clipped the edges with a stapler, or you could stitch it. And when I applied the castor oil earlier, it was like a thick layer on top. And so you sit that down and you leave it for maybe 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, waiting for it to soak through. It is soaked through now, and that's quite wet. And you can see that it doesn't take up the whole of the poultice, because when that goes on the body, the heat of the body will thin the oil, and it'll leave a little bit of a room for it to spread out. So this is a good size for the chest, for a congested chest. It's a good size for the abdomen. It can be put on the abdomen for constipation. It can also be put on the abdominal wall for irritable bowel. It could be put under the rib for the liver, for gallstones. It can also be put at the back for kidney stones. It could be put over a knee for a painful knee. So you can see we're getting to the part in our presentation where, for a sore knee, say, you might try the ginger poultice. Another time you might try the grated potato poultice, and another time you might try the castor oil, and you will get to see what the different poultices do. But remember, this penetrates deep, and because it's not drawing anything out of you, you can use the same compress again and again and again. You might even use the same one for a couple of months. Maybe every 2 days it's starting to feel a bit dry, you'd put a little bit more castor oil there. You'll get to know, and you can just fold it over, put it aside, and bring it out the next night. I've spoken to women who've been able to break up breast lumps using the castor oil compress. I've also spoken to women who've been able to clear up their breast cancer with castor oil compresses on the breast. It's not the whole program, There's a whole lot of things that you do. In my book, Self-Healed by Designs, it talks about the conditions required for healing, for especially with cancer, and this can be just part of the program.
One of the most impressive benefits of applying castor oil to the navel is its ability to digestion and alleviate constipation. The belly button, or navel, is closely connected to the gut through a network of nerve endings. When castor oil is applied to this area, it penetrates deep into the tissues, stimulating the digestive system. This simple practice can boost bile production, reduce intestinal inflammation, and encourage smoother bowel movements. I've witnessed countless individuals struggling with chronic constipation find relief through this method. A few drops of castor oil, sprayed or gently massaged onto the navel before bedtime, can lead to noticeable improvements within days. But the benefits don't stop at constipation. It also helps ease bloating, gas, and indigestion. Best of all, it's a completely natural solution, free from harsh chemicals or laxatives. If you're looking for a gentle, effective way to support your digestive health, this remedy is certainly worth considering.
Also, underneath the rib are gallstones. It can help to break those up. Round the back to kidneys, it can help to break up kidney stones. So there's a huge amount that the castor oil can do. But it's not a poultice, it's a compress. And as a compress, it can be used again and again and again. So this is how you make it. So you put a little bit of plastic down, and then with the compress, you put several layers. Now, if it's toweling, you might just put one layer. But if it's thin sheeting, I know I do a castor oil on my wrist every night, and I think I've got about 8 layers of thin sheeting on that. So there's your compress. The thicker the compress, the more oil it'll hold, so the more oil can go into you. If you use a paper towel, it'll all just break up. But if you use cloth, you can use it again and again. I've been using the compress I'm using now for, since I left home. No, actually, I made another one in Alabama. So I've been using it for 6 weeks. And then you put the castor oil on, and it'll be like a thick bubble, because castor oil is a very, very thick oil. So I'll show you how to put it on from another angle. So here's the plastic here, and here's the compress. And remember, we've got several layers. The thicker the compress, the more oil can go into you. And then when you put the castor oil on, you only put it on this much. That's all you put on, because it is so thick and it sits up like a bubble, and it'll take probably about 15 minutes to soak through. And when it soaks through, it takes up a little bit more of the area. And then you put it on your hot body, whether it be wrist, whether it be abdomen. When the heat from your body thins the oil, and it'll go out even more. I said to one lady who had breast cancer, I said, "Have you tried castor oil?" She said, "I'm not going to do that stuff." She said, "It leaked everywhere." And I know what happened. When she poured the oil on, she poured this much oil on. And then it's got nowhere to go, except it's going to start dripping everywhere. And she is right, castor oil, you don't want that through your clothes, you don't want that through your bed. So it's important to appreciate what I'm saying about it's better to put a little less. So my compress now, of course, is totally covered because I've worn it every night. I've been wearing it every night for a couple of months, and I have no pain when I wear that. Now, one of the reasons I'm wearing it is because in the X-ray it showed a little bit of osteoarthritis on my joint here, and I know that there was something happening there because it was sore before I even fell on it. I have no pain if I wear that. And I'm so glad that's all I've got, because remember, when my mother was 51, she was a cripple in a wheelchair. So I'm really happy that that's all I've got. Remember, genetics load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. Could you add essential oil? You could if you want. Do you have to refrigerate it? No, you don't. I've got a little snap lock bag that I folded up and put it in when I travel. And so I'm just in the habit of putting that on every night. Consistency is the key. So if you have got a bone spur you want to break down, the castor oil will break it down, but you've got to be consistent every night, every night. So easy. I open it, put it on, bandage it on. It takes me about 30 seconds. It's easy. You wear it all day? You could wear it all day. Yep, if you want to. Now, about once a week, I put maybe another teaspoon on. No, not a special kind of castor oil. Any castor oil will do it. But it is true that the dark brown Jamaican is a little bit more potent, but we've seen amazing results even just with the clear castor oil. Well, they don't spray castor oil, so, I think there's not much difference between organic or non-organic. It doesn't have to be in a glass bottle at all. It can be plastic, and plastic's much more convenient when you're traveling, because remember, castor oil doesn't absorb anything. This compress is just a vehicle holding it so that it can go into you and start to break up unnatural formations. I do not suggest taking castor oil by mouth. What a relief. It can be irritating in the gastrointestinal tract, but it's very powerful from the outside. I met a lady that she said 20 years ago I was diagnosed with breast cancer. She said, I was lying in the hospital. I didn't like what they were offering. And a delivery boy came in and she said to him, can I get a lift out with you? She got out and she went to a friend's house by the sea, a little holiday house that she could stay in. And she heard about castor oil and she said, I just wore castor oil 24/7. She said, that was 20 years ago. I don't have breast cancer. Yeah. So the castor oil, little by little, broke it down. If you wear it on your abdomen, you would wear it for at least 5 hours, 5 days a week. Some people, if they wear it too much, it gets the bowels moving too much. But again, you're just watching your body's response. A friend of ours who developed a fibroid, and we were surprised she did, because she exercises, plant-based diet, water, she does everything. And we thought, she's only 30. And then we discovered that she's living on a farm next to a macadamia nut farm. And the sprays from the macadamia farm were enough to throw her hormones out. She was rushed to hospital with pain. They did a scan and they found a fibroid that was, let me go to inches, it was probably about 3 inches in diameter. So she decided to go on the yam cream. So tomorrow I'll be talking about hormones, and the yam cream helps balance the hormones. She wore the castor oil compress every night. She said at least 6 nights a week I'd wear it. And she had no more pain, no more rush to hospital. She had another scan, I think it was 4 or 5 months later, and the fibroid had come right down to, from I think it was 3 inches down to 1 inch. So that's the good news. It can break up things. Hexane 3, yeah, but you find most castor oils are fairly safe. You're not ingesting it. So that's castor oil. So another one is comfrey.
Another remarkable benefit of applying castor oil to the navel is its ability to alleviate menstrual pain and support hormonal balance. The navel, being a vital energy centre linked to the reproductive organs, provides an effective pathway for castor oil's anti-inflammatory and soothing properties to reach the pelvic region. This helps relax muscles and ease cramping naturally. This practice is especially helpful for women dealing with painful periods or irregular cycles. Castor oil promotes blood circulation and reduces congestion in the uterus, offering a natural solution for menstrual discomfort. Additionally, it supports hormonal balance, which is crucial for regulating cycles and maintaining reproductive health. Many women have shared that they feel more relaxed, less bloated, and more connected to their bodies after using this simple remedy. If you're looking for a gentle, natural way to address hormonal imbalances or period pain, this method might be just what you need.
And castor oil is something that penetrates deep into the body. I never advise taking castor oil by mouth because it can be quite irritating. So I'm going to show you how to make a pack. So here is, I think we're familiar with them, they're blueies. Oh, this is a greenie, but it's an incontinence pad. So what we do is we get those and we cut them and we take off that top layer and we put several layers in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 layers of that oil sheeting in there. You see, the thicker the compress, the more castor oil it can hold, and the more castor oil that can go into your body. And what we do then is we tape the edges. And the reason we go to a bit of effort to do this, you can also stitch the corners, because this is a compress, so it can be used again and again and again and again. And the beauty of it is it has a plastic backing on it, and you want that plastic to protect your clothing. A castor oil compress is something that I apply to my hand every night. So you might notice I've still got a little bit of swelling in my hand. It's been only 8 weeks since I broke this. The X-ray confirms that my bones are healed, but there's still a little bit of swelling there because it was quite a serious break. So I've brought you over my castor oil compress, and I've used one of those sheets that the 15-year-old's knee went through, and I've actually got about 10 layers there, and I put that on my hand like this, and I bandage it. I'm getting very good at this because I do it every night, because I quickly discovered my husband's not a nurse. He does it in a bit of a hurry and doesn't do it quite right. And so there's my castor oil compress that I will sleep with. I sleep with it every night. So why am I putting a castor oil compress on this? Because that was quite serious damage. My ulna was fractured, my radius was totally broken and out of place. Whenever you've got an injury, you've got the possibility of scar tissue building up. And so this is very good at stopping scar tissue developing. And many people have problems years later after an injury from scar tissue. So if someone maybe had appendix taken out 10 years ago, sometimes they get more problems now because of scar tissue building up from that. So castor oil will break up any unnatural substance. So it'll break up a bone spur. It'll break up kidney stones, it'll break up gallstones. It will even help to break cataracts up, so you can put a drop of castor oil on your finger and wipe it over your eye, then do it to the other eye. Could you put it in your eye? Absolutely. It's just easier to wipe it over your eye though, because it's so sticky. So if you know what castor oil does, you start to know where to apply it. When I was in I think it was Nebraska last year, a lady came to me and she was in her 70s. She said, my foot had this bunion on it, and the bunion came out about 1/2 inch. She said, I've been applying a castor oil compress to it every night for 2 months and it's gone. So that's good news. So any bony formations, bone spurs, very good at breaking up bone spurs. Obviously it's not going to do it overnight, and it's not going to do it sometimes in a month. Depends how long it's been there, depends how big it is, depends how serious it is. I've known ladies to break up fibroids by applying the castor oil compress. This would be a good size for the abdomen. So for endometriosis, it'll break up endometrial pockets, it'll break up cysts, it'll break up fibroids. And as you heard today, it's also important to balance the hormones. So balance the hormones, because that's that high estrogen that causes those growths, and then apply the castor oil compress. And we've seen ladies helped again and again with that. You can also use a castor oil compress on the chest if there's a congestion in the chest. You could wear it on the abdomen, not only for fibroids but also for constipation. I met a lady who told me she'd conquered her irritable bowel with castor oil compresses. She said, my husband's a doctor and I was not interested in what he had to offer. And I'd heard about the castor oil. So castor oil can be used in so many areas. If someone's got a sore knee, they might do a ginger poultice one night, they might do a potato poultice the other night, and then another night they might use the castor oil, and just observe what your body likes. I've had in my thumb a little bit of rheumatoid arthritis, because I have inherited the genes there. If I wear this castor oil compress every night, it never causes me any trouble. I've been wearing this compress. Well, I haven't been wearing for 8 weeks because my hand was in plaster for a while, but I've been wearing this one I've got on now for several weeks. So you can use it again and again. In the morning, I'll touch it and I'll look at my finger, and if I see oil there, I know it's still got enough oil. But if it starts to get a little bit dry, I'll put another maybe teaspoon of oil on it. Maybe after another month, I might make another one. When it starts to look a bit sad, you might make another one, but you can use the same compress for several weeks.
Did you know that castor oil can enhance your immune system? When applied to the navel, it activates the lymphatic system, a key player in detoxifying the body and fighting infections. Since the lymphatic system doesn't have its own pump, using castor oil helps stimulate lymphatic flow, aiding in the removal of toxins and strengthening the immune response. This method is especially useful during flu season or when you're feeling fatigued. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, known for its potent anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. By reducing inflammation and supporting detoxification, it helps your body fend off illnesses more effectively. I frequently recommend this practice to individuals with autoimmune disorders or chronic inflammation as a natural way to boost their immune health. Whether you're looking for prevention or quicker recovery, applying castor oil to the navel is a simple yet transformative health remedy.
But many people don't promptly answer nature's immediate call, and their colon gets into the habit of not going when it should. And there's something else you can wear on your colon for a few hours a day, and it's a castor oil compress. Castor oil is an oil that penetrates deeper than any other oil, and it'll break up the congestion in the colon and help you to pass with ease. So if someone tends to constipation, it's very important that they invest in a $2 plastic stool from the Crazy Clarks. Do you have Crazy Clarks? $2 shop, or I don't know, something like that. Okay, those shops. Or they go to Bed Bath and Beyond and invest in a squatty potty. So take the pressure off there and start drinking more water, start wearing the castor oil compress on there. And if you weren't in the lecture that showed how to make compresses, you can Google Barbara O'Neill poultices, and in the poultice lecture it shows you. But it's a few layers of cloth with castor oil on it, put on the abdomen, cover it with plastic, usually your clothes will hold it there. In fact, one lady who came to our program, she said, I used to have irritable bowel. And when I had irritable bowel, my husband, who's a doctor, came in and told me what he was going to do is going to be cortisone and anti-inflammatories, and if that didn't slow it down, we'll just open you up and cut that part out. It actually defies reason, doesn't it? Do you know, I'm not criticising doctors. They do the best they can. You know, poor doctors, people beat themselves up and then they come to the doctor and think there's going to be a quick fix, but there actually isn't. There isn't a quick fix. The body can heal itself. It's little by little by little it breaks down. It bears so long under abuse. And so it's little by little by little, given the right conditions, that it can start to build up and heal again. So this lady decided not to do what her doctor husband suggested, and she'd heard about the castor oil, so she started wearing castor oil compresses on her abdomen. And she said, I healed myself of irritable bowel with castor oil. So castor oil will penetrate deep and it'll help to ease any inflammation. It will also penetrate deep and break up any lumps and bumps in the area if the person has constipation. You see, herbs are synergistic. They work with the needs of the human body. That's the good news. So let's come down here and, oh dear, there are those horrible little things called hemorrhoids. What can you do to get relief there? Squatty potty, so you take pressure off them. But there are a few things you can do. You can soak a cotton ball in castor oil and shape it to the shape of your little finger and put it in the freezer. Now it will take about 4 days to freeze. And once it's frozen and it's, you know, solid, you can insert it and leave it in there overnight. And the castor oil brings great relief to that hemorrhoid.
If you're dealing with stress or trouble sleeping, applying castor oil to the navel can be incredibly effective. This simple remedy helps the nervous system and encourages relaxation by stimulating the vagus nerve, which connects the brain to the gut. The soothing, warming effect of castor oil helps the body transition from a stressed fight or flight state to a peaceful rest and digest mode. I've seen many people improve their sleep quality significantly with this practice. By applying castor oil to the navel before bedtime, they often find it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling more refreshed. It's also a wonderful way to reduce stress and anxiety during the day. Whenever feelings of overwhelm arise, a quick application of castor oil can bring a sense of grounding and calm. This is one of my favourite uses for castor oil because it nurtures both physical and emotional well-being in such a gentle way.
But castor oil can be used almost indefinitely. You could almost wear it 24/7. Castor oil penetrates very, very deep, and it can break up scar tissue. It can also break up calcifications, and sometimes with arthritis you've got calcified joints. Now, so we'll say calcifications because this is some of the cause for the pain in the joints. So the scar tissue obviously is going to break up a little bit easier than the calcified joints, but eventually it will do it. The key is consistency. Just keep at it. Just keep applying it every day, every day. Some people like to sleep with the castor oil compress overnight. Now, the thicker the compress, I like to do about 6 layers of cloth or maybe 3 layers of toweling, and I stitch it together and we put plastic underneath it. See, when you apply it, let's say you're applying it to the knee, you apply it and then you put the plastic over and then you'll bandage it on. The plastic just keeps the compress from chilling as it does with the ginger, and it also protects your clothes from being soiled from the castor oil, or if it's the ginger juice. The castor oil can be used, the castor oil compress can be used again and again and again and again. You might even use it for a month. By then it might be looking a little bit sad and you might make a fresh one. I'll leave the decision up to you, because the castor oil is not drawing anything out of you. It's just a vehicle to hold hold the oil so that it can go into you. So this is a gentler poultice, but it's actually quite powerful. It can break up a bone spur, and so any calcification anywhere in the body, it has the ability to break that up. Remember, it penetrates deeper than any other oil, and wherever it penetrates, it has the ability to break up the congestion, scar tissue, calcification in that area. The more serious the condition, of course, the longer it's going to take, and the longer it's been like that, the longer it can take. So the swollen joints, you might do the ginger poultice for a few hours, and then you might do the castor oil overnight every night. So play with them. Remember, you're the doctor. Listen to what your body says. If it brings relief, do it. If it doesn't bring relief, maybe you need to do it for a little bit longer. Maybe you need to adjust the times that you do it. But your body will speak to you, and it will tell you what it likes. And if you don't get the results straight away, just keep at it. Remember.
Thank you for joining me today as we uncovered the incredible benefits of applying castor oil to the navel. It's fascinating how such a simple remedy can tackle a wide range of health concerns, from enhancing digestion and alleviating menstrual discomfort to strengthening immunity, reducing stress, and soothing joint pain. This time-honoured practice, cherished by traditional healers, continues to demonstrate its value in our modern world.